Welcome back to the courtroom, everybody. I am Judge Mpanza, and I will be presiding over this trial about whether you are the a-hole or not. Yes, this is my heater. I wish spring could decide whether it wants to be spring or not, because my, is it cold in Joburg. Speaking about Judge, do you know that for my job shadowing in grade 11, I actually went to Mitchell's Plain Court because I thought I might want to be an attorney. And so my mom woke me up that day, we went to the courtroom, and I sat there and listened to a couple of cases. And the first case I remember listening to, or at least the one that stuck in my head, was a man who had stolen baby formula from the ShopRite that was across the road. Baby formula. And he was there in court having to be like cross-examined or whatever. And that is the day I realized that I will never be an attorney, because these cases would break my heart. And now I'm marrying one, so a win is a win.
Rigorous. Hey, gang looking rigorous. My champagne, but I'm rigorous. My campaign looking rigorous. Whole team hella rigorous. Lifestyle so rigorous. Hairstyle so rigorous. The top 5 ain't rigorous if you left out this rigorous.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she's marrying my ex? Ooh! My sister, 26 female, is getting married next year, and I, 28 female, recently found out that her fiance is my ex-boyfriend, 29 male. We dated for 3 years and broke up about 5 years ago. It wasn't a terrible breakup, but it was painful. And seeing him with my sister feels like a betrayal. When she first started dating him, I tried to be supportive, but it's hard to watch them together. Now that they're getting married, I told her I wouldn't be able to attend the wedding. She is furious, saying that I'm being selfish and ruining her big day. My parents are also upset with me, saying I should be there for her regardless. Am I the a-hole for refusing to go to the wedding? First thing, top of my head, no, you are not the a-hole, okay? Firstly, siblings do not date siblings as exes ever. That is like rule number 1 in the siblings playbook. You do not date your siblings ex. I don't care how great of a man they are, how genuine they are, whether the relationship ended on bad terms or not. You simply do not ever date your siblings ex. The same way you don't date your friend's ex. I think that's something we can still have a conversation about. But the siblings one, there's no conversation to be had. You simply don't date your friend's ex. I'm a little bit mad at you though, I'm not gonna lie. Because you say here, when she first started dating him, I tried to be supportive, but it's hard to watch them together. You should not have tried to be supportive. You should have said, little sis, listen here before I break your neck. You are not going to date my ex-boyfriend, because it's just never going to work, especially if you are close as siblings. It simply makes absolutely no sense to me. You do not date your sibling's ex-partner. But I think even if your sister acts cool about you dating the ex, you are supposed to just know. You are supposed to know that your sister is not cool about it. Your sister is trying to be nice purely because you are her sister and she loves you. Do not date your friends' your partner's ex. Never ever. Also, she says you're being selfish and ruining her big day. How is your sibling not being there when you are marrying her ex-boyfriend ruining your day? If anything, she shouldn't be there. Exes should not be at your wedding. And the crazy thing is the ex is your sister, so what can you do? Your sister's actually doing you a favor. Your sister is doing you a favor by not coming to that wedding. Let me know if you think she is the a-hole or not. I do not think she is the a-hole at all. I think it's completely fine that she doesn't come to the wedding. If anything, she shouldn't even have been asked to come to the wedding. She shouldn't even have been dating her sister's ex-boyfriend. This is making me so mad, and these people are like around my age. I'm trying to understand at what point this could be considered anything close to normal. You are not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for walking out on my date as soon as she told me she had 5 kids from 3 different fathers? Yeah. I was on a first date with a woman who said she was 32 that I met on an online dating site. Tell me, have you ever met anyone on an online dating site? The only online dating site I've ever used is Instagram. I've never used Tinder, I've never used Bumble, all those things like that. I do not understand the idea of meeting a completely random stranger on a website and then going on a date with them. It just absolutely scares me. Unless like you have their social media somehow and you're able to see that, hey, you know, this is somebody who's got a life like this or that. I can't imagine talking to somebody on Tinder and then all of a sudden saying, let's go grab coffee. Hey, I'm scared of things. I met her at a restaurant, and the first thing that I noticed was she looked very little like her pictures. I wouldn't call it a catfish, but she did wonders with her angle choices and usage of filters to present herself as best as possible in her profile. The deception instantly turned me off, but I decided to proceed with the date anyways. You see, this is what I'm talking about when I say that I'm scared of dating apps. How is she supposed to present herself? If you're looking for a partner, you will almost always put your best foot forward. Now, if that means that I'm going to use a filter or two, then I'm going to use a filter or two. You know, I'm not going to go and Photoshop abs on my already perfectly chiseled body, but I'm going to maybe post with a filter. I'm going to choose an angle that looks flattering because I want people to say, ooh, he looks kind of cute. I'm going to swipe right or whatever people do on those dating apps. So if she wasn't necessarily a catfish, I don't think it's anything you can complain about. After our drinks arrive, but before our food arrives, while getting to know each other, she tells me she has 5 kids. I know from our brief online interaction that she has never been married, so I pretty bluntly asked if they all have the same father, and she says no. She doesn't say how many baby daddies she has unprompted, so I bluntly ask, with how many men? And she seemed embarrassed to answer. Then she says 3. She seems embarrassed, my brother. She was embarrassed. She was, and I hate to say it, but she should have been embarrassed a little bit. 3 is egregious. My response was, wow. And we both sat there in silence for about 30 seconds as I desperately try not to burst out in laughter. I'm not sure why I found the situation so funny. Maybe it was a nervous tick. I tell her, I don't see this going anywhere. Leave enough money on the table for my drink and the food I was ordering, and walked out without any further conversation. I wanted to say you should disclose you have 5 kids with 3 different men on your profile to prevent from wasting people's time. But I didn't want to add insult to injury knowing I was about to walk out of, and I suppose I could have asked before meeting her. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I think that he was the a-hole for leaving there and then. I think he should have sat down, enjoyed the date, spoke more to her, and then either at the end of the date or later on in a phone call, speak your mind. Hey, I'm not really comfortable with dating a woman who's got 5 kids from 3 different dads. You can see like the 5 kids didn't scare him too much. It kind of made him go, ooh. The 3 different fathers though, that fully spooked him. I do think he's the a-hole for the way that he did it. Maybe I've not gone on enough dates, but it doesn't seem nice to just be like, oh, you know what? Here's my 2 clipper. I'm good. Thank you very much. I don't think this is going anywhere. And leaving the date. I don't think that's cool. I think sit down, have the chat. Hey man, I'm a little bit nosy. I'm gonna ask, okay, when did you have them? What happened? 3 different men? What happened after the first guy? And then the second guy, you still decided to give the third guy a baby. So if she has 5 kids from 3 different fathers, it could either be 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1. Yay! I don't understand. And she was married to none of these guys. If you're going to have 5 kids with 3 different fathers, at least one of them you must have married. At least just one. Even if the marriage was 2 months long, just one of them needs to be your ex-husband. They can't all be your ex-boyfriend. At the same time, I cannot believe this guy has such a horrible vetting process. If a woman has 5 children, you are going to see at least some of the children somewhere, somehow. If I am going on a date, I am doing my research on said person I am going on a date with. I want your Instagram. I want your Twitter profile. I'm going to check your LinkedIn. I'm going to check if you've spoken about having kids before, or the ex-boyfriends that you've dated, if they're still on your profiles. I'm going to check all of that. There's no way I am getting to a date and only finding out there and then that you have 5 kids, let alone with 3 different men. I do think that he is the a-hole. I think he's the a-hole purely for checking out there and then in the middle of the date. I understand that he might have felt like it's a waste of his time, but already you've been on the date. Also, these are questions that you ask in the phone call after. Guys, we need to go back to having phone calls. You know those phone calls where you're sitting on the phone? Where's my phone? You're sitting on the phone like this. Your legs are up in the air by your bed. You're chilling like this. Hey, Njani. Yeah, no ndikona. No ndiyakumbula nam. Like, What happened to this? In that phone call, that's where you find out, oh, do you have any kids? Yeah, I have 1 or 2. Oh, that's cool. With your like ex-husband, ex-boyfriend. What's my ex-boyfriend? Oh, and where is he? He's around, or he's a deadbeat. Oh, okay, cool. Then you make your decision whether you'd still like to go on the date or not. And then if at the date you find out that she lied about one of the things she might have said in the phone call, that's when I think you can say, here's my money for my drink and my food. I'm good, thanks, goodbye. He says that he would have preferred for her to put the 5 kids with 3 different men on her profile to prevent from wasting people's time. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think that you should put that you have 5 kids from 3 different fathers on your Tinder profile, because you won't get any dates. But maybe saying mother of 5, or I'm a mother, you know, mother, student, whatever it is that you're doing with your life, maybe just put mother there. But saying mother of 5 with 3 different men on your Tinder profile, that's a ridiculous thing to ask for somebody to do. So let me know what you guys think. I think that he's the a-hole purely for how he left the date. I don't think she's the a-hole for not saying before that she's got 5 kids with 3 different baby daddies. Such is life, guys. We live in a society with people who have kids and who have had lives before us. So I think it's pretty normal that some of us are going to date people with kids. But hey, 5 kids from 3 different fathers is scary. Am I the a-hole for confronting my sister about cheating with my husband based on what our mom told me? This is some good family juice. My life is completely upended. It has been over 24 hours since I confronted my younger sister Emma about cheating with my husband. I was 1000% sure my husband was cheating with her based on what our mother told me yesterday. It turns out I was wrong. My husband did not come home last night. I know he read my text messages because they are all marked red. He ignores all of my calls though. I have no idea where he is. I got about 2 hours of sleep last night, and that was only because I was utterly exhausted. I woke up to my older sister Ray calling. I answered it. Ray lives in a cul-de-sac at the end of our parents' street, about 5 houses down. Ray is also a stay-at-home mom. Ray started by apologizing over and over again, which just made me nervous. And when I pressed her, she said she was so sorry for not telling me what she knew for certain, that my husband was cheating with our mother. I will admit I can barely remember what she said because of the shock, but I'm trying my best to write it, to remember it for the future. From the title, Usista's faces her younger sister. She can't sleep all night, and it's rough, that thing. When you find out you've been cheated on, you can't sleep at night. You're just tossing and turning, thinking about your life. What's happening? Where's my partner? Yay! And then her older sister calls her, the older sister who lives in the same street as her mother. This lady's name is Ray, and she's a stay-at-home mom. And she's calling, apologizing already, to tell her, sister, it's not our younger sister, it's our mother. Damn it! Ray said that this has been going on for a few months. So that would be before me and him were actually married. She says that Emma would leave to go to night classes or hang out with friends. And about 20 minutes later, my husband would pull up to our parents' house. He would stay there for an hour or 2 and then leave before Emma got back. Ray said that this happened multiple nights a week now, whenever Emma and our dad were gone. So whenever Emma would be out to go see her friends, have a nice night as a young lady, this lady's husband would be going over to Emma's house, where Emma's mom and dad lives, and would be having canoodling with Emma's mother. Our dad works long shifts at night. He would have no idea. We know mom probably has location tracking for Emma, which is how they knew where she was. We don't know if Emma took that off yet. Emma obviously is not happy with me, so I can't ask her. The most damning thing is that mom went out last night and didn't return until the morning before dad got home from work. Ray texted her asking if everything was okay, and mom said that a friend of hers was sick and needed comforting. Emma also did not come home last night, but that's probably because she is pissed and hurt and needed to be around friends. I will apologize to her, but I can't without telling her what's going on. She's caught between a rock and a hard place. If she's going to apologize to Emma about confronting her about her husband's infidelity, she has to say what the actual truth is. And the truth is that Mzozo, it was actually our mother. Yay! Ray keeps apologizing, saying that she didn't want to get involved and that it wasn't her business. How is it not your business as my older sister to tell me that my husband is sleeping with our mother? Don't piss me off. She also called me an asshole for confronting Emma and says that by doing that, I'm tearing the family apart. She has forbidden me from telling dad, saying she'll never forgive me. There is the a-hole. We have found the a-hole. It's your sister Ray for not telling you. It is your sister Ray for saying that you are what? An a-hole for confronting Emma and saying that you are tearing the family apart. What about the man who is not part of this family? Everybody's making me so mad. Isn't he the one tearing this family apart? And the Oleti. I feel like dad has the right to know. I know how it feels to have someone do this to you and to have the information withheld. I'm not going to say anything until I have concrete evidence because I've learned my lesson. But would I be the a-hole if I told my dad and Emma what is happening? Update. I've had nothing but time to think. I've been alone in my house reading comments, figuring out how I'm going to do everything. I'm overwhelmed and I'm fatigued inside and I'm fatigued inside out and I'm too tired to freak out anymore. My soon-to-be ex-husband, yes, when I called me. He sounded like he had been on a bender and was hungover, slurring his words, repeating things. He said he's sorry, that he's a piece of shit, that he loves me, that he's on his way home. He turned on his location and did a check-in, so I know he's on the way headed towards my house, but I don't know where he is. She's addressing some comments here when she says Ray does use our mother for childcare. Could be the reason why she didn't want to rock the boat. Wow, because she has a babysitter. She doesn't want to mess with mommy the babysitter. This is not the first time our mother has cheated on our dad. I remember back when I was 11, they separated for a while. It was traumatic for all of us. That's why you need to tell your dad. Tell your dad, Ray is a problem. I have an appointment with an OB later this week where we will discuss inductions. My BP has been hovering over... She's pregnant? She's pregnant? Okay, so she's also pregnant. Wow. You are not the a-hole. If anything, the a-hole here is your mom, your husband, and Ray. Those are the three a-holes. When I tell people this, and I tell people this all the time, guys, family is amazing. It's nice to share blood with people, to share DNA. You know, blood thicker than water. Yeah. But you must learn when to cut off family. And right here, sisters does not have a husband anymore, and she does not have an older sister. And she must be okay with that. Because clearly, as family, these people's priority is not to protect her, but rather to protect whatever they have. Ray wanted to protect the fact that she has a babysitter in her mom. She doesn't actually want to protect her dad. She doesn't want to protect her sister. She just wants to protect her own interests. Do not take back your husband. Do not take back your husband. I'm glad you've said ex-husband here. That is exactly what he should be. Do not forgive your mom. One, she's sleeping with your husband, and she was probably sleeping with your husband before you got married. Two, you are pregnant. She does not care about your well-being at all. Me, I was gonna say cut off your mom, because at this point you need to cut off your mom. She's clearly a problem. She has problems that she needs to get sorted out. I think she just needs to put everyone on blast. I think everyone needs to be on blast, whether it's a family meeting, whether it is in the family group chat. She needs to put everyone on blast and then switch off her phone. It's like me when I'm posting on Instagram. She must just say, post. That's what she needs to do. That is the only way. Wow. Everything is just a family problem. Relationship, marriages, problems. That is it from me. Let me know what you think about the stories that I have read today. Who is the a-hole? Who is not? I cannot believe the things that we read today. I am absolutely shook. Have a lovely weekend. I love you guys so much from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you are enjoying the Reddit stories. I'll see you soon with another one. I love you guys. Peace.